Okay, let's jump into this deep dive. We've got this whole stack of sources you gave us news from all over, really. Japan, Korea, China, Taiwan, Southeast Asia.
It's a lot, yeah.
It really is, and things move so fast in that part of the world. So the mission today is, well, cut through that noise, right? Find the important bits.
Especially on tech and AI, particularly in China.
Exactly. That focus, plus the big headlines shaping things right now.
Okay, so what really stands out from your sources almost immediately is China's relentless push on technology and AI.
Relentless, yeah.
And one thing, a striking detail actually, is the sheer number of university graduates. They're hitting the workforce trained specifically for the tech sector.
Huh. And that's happening now.
Right now.
Yeah.
And it's happening alongside these ongoing trade tensions. That timing is, well, significant.
That coincidence, or maybe not coincidence, it feels quite strategic. Does it tie into official plans mentioned in the sources?
Oh, absolutely. The reports point to some really ambitious government plans.
Yeah.
Like aiming to turn Shenzhen into a massive hub.
For
both AI and aviation. It just signals this very clear top-down commitment. They want to lead here.
Okay. And what about the big companies like Huawei? How are they handling the external pressures, according to the sources?
Well, your sources show Huawei is focusing really intensely on becoming self-sufficient.
Makes sense.
And a key part of that is compound semiconductors. These are the more advanced chips you need for high-performance computing, defense tech.
The really cutting-edge stuff.
Exactly. And Huawei seems to think mastering these internally is absolutely crucial to getting around curbs from other countries.
It's fascinating just how deep that self-reliance strategy seems to go. Does it even filter into things like military tech?
Yes, it does. We see reports detailing advances in the radar for China's J-20 stealth fighter.
Okay.
And sources actually link these improvements to breakthroughs by specific semiconductor scientists. So it shows how fundamental that chip tech is for, wider military modernization.
And then on a totally different track, humanoid robots in China. Popping up where?
The sources mention these robots are actually getting some real-world testing. They've even shown up in, kickboxing matches.
Kickboxing? Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, they're still facing reality checks, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just shows the kind of momentum behind developing these advanced robotics.
Okay. And all this tech development, it's happening within that really complex U.S.-China dynamic. What do the sources say about recent talks or tensions?
Well, reports confirmed U.S. and China officials just wrapped up 2 days of trade truce talks in London.
Trade truce talks. Okay. Anything else on the trade front?
Yeah, there's also ongoing discussion, based on your sources, about potential new U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods. Things like rare earths are mentioned.
Critical materials.
Very critical. And also how existing tariffs are, holding up against legal challenges. It's a very layered negotiation, economically and strategically.
And does that whole dynamic trickle down to, individuals?
Yeah.
Students, maybe?
It seems so. Yes, the sources indicate these tensions are actually impacting Chinese students trying to get U.S. visas. So, yeah, it raises questions about the flow of talent, of knowledge between the two countries.
Right. Okay, let's shift focus a bit. Across the rest of the region, Taiwan comes up a lot in the sources. What's the picture there?
Your sources show Taiwan is boosting defense spending and also increasing security specifically at its Electronic Force Command.
Which is there.
Their sort of cyber and electronic warfare unit. And this is happening amid, political tensions and these reports of indictments for spying.
And Taiwan's tech sector, still crucial.
Oh, absolutely. Still a powerhouse. Sources highlight one major company. They do wafer testing services, so checking chip quality.
Right. Essential step.
Essential. And they're planning a big capacity expansion this year. Why? They're citing soaring demand driven by AI.
AI demand again.
Exactly. Plus, on a different note, Taiwan's FDA is apparently using an AI system now for inspecting imported food. They say it saved money.
Interesting application. Okay. North to South Korea. What were the main headlines there?
Sources reported the Kospi stock index saw a pretty significant jump. Partly seems to be a tech rally, plus foreign investment flowing in.
Okay.
And also, there was news about South Korea stopping its propaganda broadcasts over the border towards North Korea, trying to de-escalate things, basically.
Right, after recent tensions. Okay. And maybe just quick hits from Southeast Asia. What else did the sources mention?
Oh, let's see. Reports of Turkey exporting fighter jets to Indonesia. That was one. Indonesia pausing some nickel mining at a major tourist spot. Filipino forces facing ongoing challenges in disputed waters, and unfortunately, Jetstar Asia ceasing operations in Singapore. That affects over 500 workers.
Wow. Okay. That really is a lot of ground covered. So if we try and pull the main threads together just based on these sources, we're seeing China's really intense, multi-pronged drive for tech and AI leadership. Then there's that complex US-China relationship playing out, trade, visas, the whole thing. And then these very specific, impactful things happening in Taiwan, Korea, and across Southeast Asia.
Precisely, and I think this deep dive gives you, a snapshot drawn straight from the material you shared. It shows the big technological shifts and the major headlines shaping this incredibly dynamic region, well, right now.